It's very honored to be here and share my own personal story. At first, I want to ask, have you ever thought about this, or do you decide everyday basis what you wear, what you eat, when you sleep, with who you are talking or allowed to talk? Because I feel that my story is life as a hurdle race, because this is how I feel as it is. And freedom to decide my own life, what to eat, what to wear, with who I talk, is not a privilege for everyone, but a human right, and must not be violently deprived of anyone. But it happened to me, and I lived like so 10 years in Sweden with my 5 kids. Their dad was abusive and violent to me. There was physical violence, mental, material violence, and actually when I was living in this, I even didn't understood that I'm in a violent relationship. Because I thought that if you hit somebody, that this is violence. But actually, it's also mental violence, but I didn't have knowledge about it. And thanks to my mom, I know she was very afraid, but thanks to her, I had a chance to come away from this relationship. Because one day, she was just telling, or actually she locked the door and was telling, we are not letting him in anymore. I'm very thankful because I was very scared. I was scared because I don't know what will happen now. And I was scared because of him, because I know that he will never let me go. Of course, there was also police, because to who you are turning if not to police first. This is, actually, I feel that there was like some bird who was engaged, but I feel that this is perfect picture for this, how I came out from this. So for me, it was very important to get information and that my kids and myself would be safe. My next barrier was to find a home and work. I lived for 1 year in a woman's shelter, because I knew that I can't stay at my mom's place or dad's place or nowhere where he can find me. So I lived at the woman's shelter. And in this time, my 2 children should go to school, so this was my number 1 thing, what I should do. I found a job. I took responsibility for my own life. And finally, after 1 year, I got my own home. At first, it was rental apartment, but now, from this year, I have my own home, my own apartment. What I was learning from these first years was that I can handle it. I was learning with my own problems, with my inner strength. I didn't have any confidence this time, but thanks to good people around me from women's shelter, I got my confidence back. They were supporting me on every step. I'm very thankful. So I had individual counseling, and in Pärnu we have a very nice group. We are calling this AHA group. This is for women who are in the same situation. And this is the group where we get back our self-confidence. Because usually we are not talking about our story. Because, of course, in back of our heads, we know that we are all there with the same story. But we are not asking. Everybody who wants to tell something, they can tell. But this is like their rights to be silent and just listen. Of course, inner growth is very important thing for me, because I just feel that I'm a totally different person than I was 8 years ago. And I had hunger for life, because I knew if I come out from there, then I have to stay out, because there was no chance that I go back. If I go back, then I guess I would not be alive anymore. I have went to different courses to understand more what is behind domestic violence, to understand this violent person and to understand victim. I have went different performances. Was in a video Asylum Festival, but I guess you will see tomorrow. Here are some pictures about this. So all these years I have taken different challenges, what has been really fun, and mostly they have been with people from Pärnu Women's Support Center. And actually this was not the tension, but it has been like so that I'm breaking the silence. I understood that if I'm silent, then this is giving power to this violent person. And that's why I was deciding to tell my story with my own face and name. I have been in media, newspapers, conferences, campaigns, Empty Plate. It's Empty Plate campaign. It's about my own campaign about allowance for my kids. Then Muscle. With this Muscle campaign actually is going on right now court case, because my ex-husband wants that I'm quiet about our violent life. And of course, I'm also experienced advisor to women who are in the same situation and who need some support. Here are also some pictures, and I understand that helping others, I help myself. And my fifth barrier is courts, because all these years when I came from this violent relationship, I have been in court. It means 8 years. Sometimes I have one court case, sometimes two. First was child abduction, because my children's dad thought that I was abducting children from him. Then of course custody. Then allowance for kids. And this court case was lasting 1,000 days and 1,026 days. And right now, mouth reimbursement is going on now, but unfortunately it's closed court, so I can't talk so much about this. So, but finally, I am a survivor, and I continue breaking the silence.